back at it. Another week of shenanigans. This week, I'm super pumped. Well, I'm always pumped, but really excited because I turned 38 on Sunday. I cannot believe that I'm saying that out loud, but I am turning 38, and the crazy thing is turning 38, I'm releasing a book, and I'm going on a hunt for Pokémon cards. It's a full circle moment, really and truly. But yeah, so I'm super excited. The boys are competing tomorrow on Saturday, and then on Sunday, we are going on an adventure that I did not have to plan for myself, which I'm also excited because I haven't had to do any of that in the last few years. And you know, for me, like, birthdays are big. Like, my mom and dad, primarily my mom, but my dad was always a good sport, made a huge deal about birthdays. Like, birthdays and celebrating things are, like, really big in my family. And for a long time, so naturally, I love celebrating people. Like, I don't care if we're celebrating report cards or we're celebrating, you know, job promotions or I don't care. Give me a reason to celebrate, and I am down to celebrate. I love it. I love celebrating people. So birthdays, by nature, are a really big deal for me. And so I like doing all that for other people, but I myself have not always been super celebrated outside of, like, my family. And so I'm happy that I'm now with someone that comes up with his own ideas and plans with the kids how to celebrate me. It's fantastic. I love it, and I'm here for it. So we're going to do all the Pokemon things on Sunday, get some really good coffee, have some good food, and then hang out with the fam. It's going to be perfect. My book drops. I'm so excited. I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit. But I want to share, I always do a lot of reflection the week leading up to my birthday. Always. Have done that since I was probably a teenager. Probably every single journal I own has a page or two the week leading up to my birthday about, like, this is what I learned this year, and this is what I'm hoping for next year. And this year is obviously no different. But there are I learned a lot, but I'm able to put a sentence to, like, 3 things that I learned this year, really kind of encapsulate all the other things that I worked through and navigated this year. You know, I sent something to my brother a couple weeks ago, and it was like, you know, here for the 2026 vibes. 2025 was open heart surgery with no anesthesia. I felt every cut, and I never want to repeat it. It was like something along those lines, and I was like, bro, couldn't be a more accurate description of this last year. And so the top 3 things, and then I kind of just want to break down each. The first one is, like, let it go. Let it go. Joe tells me this all the time. He is, like, my resounding voice for, like, let it go in all areas with all the things. And, you know, the truth of the matter is like, there's always going to be things in life that you can't control. People are going to think things, mistakes are going to be made, you know, there's just so much, kids are going to do things, you know, dynamics and family and work and friends. Like, there's so much that goes on that you can't control, like I talked about last week. But the only thing that I can control is myself. And though that's been something that I've hung on to tightly for the last, you know, 3.5, almost 4 years, I really clung tightly to that this year. There was a lot of things that maybe I'm not necessarily happy or proud of the way that they transpired, but nonetheless, they transpired. And you just gotta let it go. Like, you gotta let go the fact that things happen and shit shakes out a certain way, and all you can do is move forward. All you can do is grow and learn and become better because of those things. You know, perfection isn't reality, you know, like, not everything is going to be perfect all the time. That's just such a bubbled view on, like, life, that you just want things and people and situations to be, like, perfect all the time. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's something that I just had to let go. Like, shit's going to happen. Like, let it go. Let it go. You know, focusing on my goals, my life, and that everything else is going to work itself out. Like, letting go of what you thought was going to be and everyone else's perception of what like should be. I think for me was something that I really had to let go of. Learning to like be proud of my choices and like chasing peace as the ultimate goal. And I had to like let go of everything else that wasn't giving me that. And that was really hard because I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a people pleaser, but I would say that I want the people that I do life with to be proud of what I'm doing, and I want them to have some sort of like stamp of approval on what I'm doing. And the truth of the matter is that's just not always going to happen. I had to learn how to let go of chasing that idea and chasing like trying to make that happen, because what happens is I ended up disappointed or I ended up frustrated or I ended up sad because I set an expectation upon my life and my relationships that like it's just not attainable. Like you're not everyone is always going to be super happy like with what you're doing and things you have going on, and that's okay. That's okay, because I look at other people's lives that I love and I'm not always super stoked about things going on, but like that's their life. Like that's their life. Are they proud of what's going on? Are they happy with the condition? Are they at peace with things? And if that's the case, then I'm happy for them. I'm okay. And so I had to let go of like the desire to see that happen. And that really did change a lot for me last year. And how I moved forward with, just friends and family and, Joe and honestly, like even the boys. And so it was really hard, but also really good in that regard. I think the second thing is like shit don't make no sense. I was just talking to someone yesterday and, they were sharing with me some stuff that was going on and they're like, I just don't know like how to explain it. And I was like, oh, I do. This shit don't make no sense. Like the things that happened last year in my life, the only thing I can possibly say is that it just doesn't make any sense. Like, like my uncle passing away with, all sorts of things going on in his body that couldn't fully be explained. And then like 8 weeks later, my dad like tragically passed away in an accident. And, I just keep going back to the fact that shit doesn't make sense. Like, there's so much that happens in life that you can explain. And on the other hand, there's so much in life that you can't explain. And I think tragedy is one of those things. I think death and grief, it's just you can't fully understand and wrap your mind around it, yet you still have to walk through it. And I'll never understand. It's never gonna make sense to me why, why my dad was taken away at, 56 years old. Like, in the way that, it's just never gonna make sense to me. And I don't think that it's supposed to. Not everything in life is supposed to make sense. But yeah, that's like without getting stuck there, because I'll really get in my feels. So we had two deaths in the family in the matter of 8 weeks of each other. And then, everything that I've navigated after that, and, from January, honestly, to October was a lot of growth. And it was painful, but honestly, it was also really beautiful. Like 37 for me was the most painful and tragic, and yet it was also met with a lot of beauty, joy, and clarity. And so when people ask me like, oh, how was 37? My automatic response was, it was fucking shitty. It was the worst year. And it was the worst year. But I've had to comma that with, but was also like really, really great for like personal development and realizing a lot of things about myself. It's just freaking weird, man. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then the third thing was like, does it really fucking matter? They both go hand in hand. There's been so much that's happened last year that I look back and I'm like, that didn't fucking matter. Like, why did we camp out on this so long? For myself and for other people. You know, like, god damn, dude, like, this is not a hill I wanted to die on. Like, I probably shouldn't use that phrase for a long time, but you know what I'm getting at. I did have a monster before recording this, which was probably not the most fantastic idea, but here we are. And so asking myself that a lot, specifically in the last 2 months, so since my dad passed away, I have hyper focused on this question with every single aspect of my life. Like, things come up and I'm like, that doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. It's not worth it. Let it go. Shit don't make no sense. Just let it go. And, like, for myself, working through an injury and, feeling bad for myself and not getting back to it. It's like, okay, cool. I got an injury, but does it really fucking matter? It's time to move on. It's time to get back to it. It's time to, put one freaking foot in front of the other and get to getting, and within even like work and jujitsu and just, with the boys, and there's a lot of things that happen and you have to ask yourself, like, does it really matter? Is this really worth getting bothered over or letting this like disrupt my peace or my focus? Probably not. Like, you can't get back time. And often what I see in my own life is like, I get so sidetracked by things and I lose putting a priority on what really matters. I lose time in these areas and I self-sabotage, and I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to self-sabotage myself to the place that I just stop doing things. Like, for instance, this fucking podcast. I cannot even begin to tell you how pumped I was and excited I was at the beginning of last year to launch this podcast. Had so many plans, so many things that I wanted to do, and then the summertime came and there was no more Truth Trap. It was like, he just left. Like, it was a good idea and then he just was no more. And I sabotage myself. You want things to be perfect and you want things to go according to plan, and guess what? They don't. But for them to get to the place you want them to be, you have to keep going and be consistent and brick by brick and build and build and build, and then it will come. And so, I just learned a lot of different things about myself. Things don't have to be perfect. The things that I used to obsess over, like, it just doesn't hold any weight anymore. Like, it is what it is. Shit happens, doesn't really matter. And like, at the end of the day, like, just let it go. Peace is the ultimate prize in my life. And if situations take away my peace, I have really have to evaluate those things. And I have spent a lot of time evaluating those things. And, it's come at the cost of some very hard conversations, but those conversations have also helped me grow and develop, I believe, into like who I am now. It's helped me look back and be like, all right, well, why did I do these things? And why did I think that was okay? And pivot and change moving forward. And so those are like the top 3 things that 37 had in store for me. It's little tricks that it had for me. I don't ever want to go through another 37. I honestly don't think my mental sanity or my heart could handle another 37. I truly, with everything I am, like, I don't think that I don't think I have it in me. I don't have another 37 in me. So as beautiful as it was in a lot of areas, it was also extremely painful, and it's still painful. I don't ever think certain pain points are going to go away. just learning, I guess, how to live within that, and, do the best that I can within certain pain points. So with all that being said, yeah, so that's what I learned. So I learned that in 37, and I'm freaking releasing a book on Sunday. I'm so excited. This has been a labor of love. This has been a passion project that has been in the making for quite some time. This is what I know about this book. The timing is perfect. Here's why. A lot of things that I had to navigate last year were tied to things that I was still growing out of and learning about myself. And so I wanted to protect different areas of my life. And I feel like releasing this book just wouldn't have had the same weight to it had it been anytime sooner, for lots of different reasons. And so the timing is perfect. I had to wait on some things to get worked out within myself. And I have had a lot of clarity on, just the release of this and the timing. And you want things that you're doing to be received well, right? Like, you want people to read it and be like, that was good. Like, that was good, and I've truly made peace that that's not fully going to be the case with certain individuals that will probably get their hands on this book and read it. You're going to inevitably be the villain in someone's story, guys. I don't know if that's new news to you, but I had to come to peace with that. Like, truly come to peace with that. Like, it just is what it is. Like, this is my story and my book for a reason. I wrote it out of the view and lens and honesty of things that transpired in my life. And so I am super pumped. Like, my whole hope is that it helps at least one person. I truly feel like it's going to do more than that, but it's encapsulated. This book is encapsulated that, like, yes, it's a story of things that transpired within my marriage of 17 years and, divorce and after the fact and church community and parenting and, finding love again. But it's also like a guidebook. Like, there are certain chapters. It's like, well, if you're in the middle of leaving or you're thinking about it, like, here are some things you might want to consider. And then it's also like a therapy session with some journal prompts, some things that you should probably like hit the pause on and deep dive and figure out within yourself, like, well, why do I do these things? And who am I really outside of this, marriage and momming and wifing? And it's just a beautiful piece of writing that I am extremely proud of. I haven't been this proud of something in a really, really, really long time. And so you don't have to have it all figured out. That's what I'm learning. I don't have to have it all figured out. 38 for me is going to be one that I make choices that I love and that I'm proud of. And it's going to be taking advantage of time and prioritizing family and loved ones and, making choices that I can look back on at 39 and be like, I'm fucking proud of what I accomplished at 38. I have put my seatbelt on and I have poured gas on the fire of life, and I am in it for a good time and a long time. So that's it. So yay to Pokemon book releases and birthdays. So I will chat with you guys next week. As always, be good, do good, and until I see you again.